What is up, ladies and gents? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Raph Esparza, coming to you with another great installment of the Bullpen, a joint venture between Inside BJJ and the Grappling Hour. I hope you're having a good day. I know that late in the day, it's in that nice middle pocket over by our good friend Timothy J. Freeman. Tim, how is everything going on your side of the world?
FC. Outside of that, man, things are going good. It's getting nice and sticky out here in the humidity, and it's getting nice and heated with the PGF. We just wrapped up the draft, and we have the season right ahead of us on July 20th.
I don't necessarily stalk them a ton on their Facebook or their Instagram. Occasionally, I'll see a story pop up, but it's not programmed in my brain to follow them like they're characters yet. So have you seen anything pop out since the draft for those guys?
A ton of drama yet with this new season coming up, but, you know, give it a week or two. I'm sure it'll be right back up there.
I mean, we're going to see some more stuff unfold for these gentlemen in just like
Let's see. I have a list here. I'm going to go off the list. Looks like, let's see. I have a list here. I'm going to go off the list. Looks like we got, is that Team Drysdale on the left there?
So
I see how this is. We got, is that Team Drysdale on the left there?
So
I see how this is. I see how it's lined up. It's a row. Okay. So it looks like we got team what's lined up. It's a row. Okay. So it looks like we got team Canuto, Canuto, vets. There's some finishers. There's some guys that can force an opponent to throw up some vets. There's some finishers. There's some guys that can force an opponent to throw up a zero. So I think that's a pretty decent team. And he did, if you look at zero, so I think that's a pretty decent team. And he did, if you look at Canuto, like what he paid outside of Ferreira, which I think he went like 6,400 paid outside of Ferreira, which I think he went like 6,400 on the rest of the guys
obsessed with challenging me to a hot dog eating contest. Now, I don't know where this comes from. I know that he is very competitive. I have spies at JJ pages, so I know. Go day of weigh-ins, and I was like, dude, you're not gonna weigh in and then yak the next day at competition. Like, I can't come back on the show and be like, well, JJ Bowers now has
you take him up on it. Yes, let's go day of weigh-ins and take him up on it. Yes, let's go day of weigh-ins, and then you veteran alpha him back. And then when he has a bellyache the next day and he's got to hit up Mama Natalie for some
it's sushi. So that way when you eat lots of stuff, it's worth it. A lot of hot dogs is probably going to eat lots of stuff. It's worth it. A lot of hot dogs is probably going to kill your boy, Raph Esparza. I think that's a bad choice. Boy, Raph Esparza. I think that's a bad choice. And he will not get riled by any of the roasts. He's like, you can't affect me. And I said, you haven't seen him yet. So he's put the challenge out to me, and I'm much better at this than even eating. And if you've seen what I can eat, I will tell you, the mix of vets and newcomers on each team was very equally distributed. So to me, I see like there are going to be some people who are going to have to be those anchors to the teams, and those people who make sure that would be part of the way he spent his money. And it's not in the traditional way you think it is. So you might know about it, Natalie. That might be a heads up. I don't know. I don't even know. I'm
have the potential to have a strong top three. We're probably looking at Drysdale and Canuto. They both, especially Drysdale's team, there's a decent chance that three of those guys are able.
If you are looking at how all of these teams shake out, I am intrigued to see who the silent gatekeepers are going to be, because like if those people can stop you from getting points, everybody's fashion sense. Now,
okay,
I hear you guys. I hear you saying, wow, Raph, are you guys going to critique the fashion? And to which I say, absolutely we are. Because, okay, but what I can tell you is every one of us put in a little bit of knowledge, years of looking at other people being here to give you this breakdown, this analysis. So, Tim, what's going to happen now is
I love BMAC, but we might be going more is less here. And hear me out. He's got the Finance Bro zip up fleece thing or whatever plaid, Finance Bro. And then he brings it to the streets with the hat flipped around backwards in the shades. Overall, I like the look. I think he needs a little more facial hair to kind of rough it up a little bit and make it.
And then the subtleness of the glasses, not quite aviators, but looks pretty close. And the backwards hat. I'm not going to say he's going to be somebody who's going to abduct anybody off the streets, but if you...
The suit is shiny. It's satiny, and I kind of like that. I think it's, it's definitely says something. I like the sun, and the mullet mop top thing is interesting. I like that it's not even, right? Because then he would just look like a kid cut, like he went to Supercuts and they said give him a little boy haircut. But yeah, Jet looks like
and it was a full on like the jacket and the pants were both the same type. I wasn't sure he had that in him. So the fact that he came, I fall on that, Tim, because I feel like it's bringing more attention that you didn't wear a tie. Or, and I hate to ruin this for him, does not count as a tie.
Maybe he thought it was a tie. Yeah.
Bring up here Andy Varela. Where did we fall in Andy Varela's fashion?
I like Andy Varela's fashion. I think this is a good look. This is probably something I myself is a stylish older. So far, Varela's got the top look. Ascot, and then you think that picture's taken at the Playboy Mansion.
I want to bring this up for Andy Varela. Andy Varela looks like he's about to go golf with DJ Khaled's for coaches standards. I actually might have expected a little bit more, and I couldn't tell if he was just scared by Chris Olivo. And I thought he figured if he's going to go all the way out there, maybe he should be a little more reserved, given that. Let's move on over to Matt Mash. Was closer to the body style because not everybody did that. But Tim, what were your initial thoughts from him?
Probably a kid that doesn't dress up much. And that's kind of the look. I think the hair kind of like gives it this essence like, I don't give AF, so he pulls it off just fine. And he's Matt Mash, so he's got a dope name on top of it.
Dressed to the nines. Or, you want to make sure that you're not giving off some kind of energy that just says, I'm here to take your order, sir. So that's all. Moving on.
Very Olive. He's I love you guys. I love you all. I like the floral print. I'm down with that. I'll get down with that. I like the glasses. They're a little bit like kind of pushing it a little bit, a little big, little Sally Jesse.
What I told him is there are Hawaiian shirts that are upscaled and there are Hawaiian shirts where you are going to go roast a luau pig. I think he fell more into the latter than the former. Just consider next time you do this, just put that into the thought process when you get ready. We're going to move now to Zack Schneider, here being told that he was actually on the least wanted list at his school. But for this gave a good pop. I was a little surprised by that from Zack Schneider. What were your initial thoughts, Tim?
My initial thoughts are, is this PGF draft or am I watching a still shot from the show Cheater jacket on it? So overall, I think he did okay. Not the best still shot. He does look like he's very defensive right now, or he's getting ready to be defensive. But nice job on the colors.
Shortly before, guys, I got injured today, and he sends the cry laugh emoji. And I'm thinking, that's what this dude does. His face is now permanently stuck like the cry laugh emoji, mid face. And
he's like, yeah, I'm serious, but I got my upper unbuttoned and I got my sleeves rolled up. He looks like he's in pain. Looks like he may have given too much blood right? At the clinic.
Side of a desk at a Wells Fargo, about to tell you some exciting options for your credit. The other thing that stands out to me here is he looks so stressed out, like the half rolled up sleeves. Do you know where the eyebrows end and the hair begins? Because I do not. It all blends in a way that has me slightly concerned. Is this eyebrow hair or hair brows? Where are we on this?
Like he looks like he's like a young divorcee with 2 small kids, right? And he kind of looks like a different person versus when he has the hat on. When he has the hat on,
I can't tell that. Maybe it would have given more attitude. He was also wearing, if I remember correctly, some like maroon pants. And I thought that was an interesting juxtaposition. Not enough. I'm not quite sure what to make of this. Like, to me, he seems like the missing member of Monty Python. There are a lot of confusing things, but about his fashion in particular here, Tim, what did you fall?
It is an interesting look for a guy that's going to fight. You know, looks like he should be working at Tilly's, something like that, right? You know, Hot Topics or some kind of skate shop.
I don't understand what the assignment here is, but there's a lot going on. So, Tim, maybe just explain what you saw in person and what was standing out to you there.
This is like crazy Russell Brand, right? This is the vibe that I'm getting from the outfit. I think it's dope. I do think that Chris probably spent more on the clothes.
Times when I looked at him and I thought, he seems like the villain in Snow Dogs. Like he's just short of pointing at a bunch of dogs and being like, get them. So I don't know. I feel like he should be on still have a couple more to go through. He might have been the best dressed.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take away from the villainy of him or the fact that Cruella de Vil looked at his coat and said, you can see a little of the chest hair. But I was wondering if the collar buttons up at the right place. Here's what I'm talking about, guys. Sometimes that collar, it's a little high presentation as when you saw it in person.
A couple. One is this guy's doing his best to impersonate telling me. That collar's awfully high. Like it's a widespread collar, but you ain't buttoning that collar up. That's a 15-inch pencil neck collar right there. It's not going to happen.
I'm also not sure here, Tim. I'm not for that, Rob. I was not sure that was going to be the direction we were going, but props to you, sir. Let's move on. Rafael Freire, right here, making the Gary who knows he's got somebody in the reels. Like, Tim, there's a lot going on here, but what make you of this?
Man, we got a young Richard Ramirez on our hands right here. This is this guy is frightening. The on our hands here with Rafael Ferreira.
So, yeah, I mean, the only thing that would make this worse is if he was licking the lips. Like, this is already a bad look, but that's the one that would really make you go, like, get out of my house, young man. It's very tactical. Like, this dude probably has a concealed carry on him just based on the way he's dressed.